Hi, it's Adrian Laurie, and this is video 2 in my journaling exercises series. And I'm going to tell you how to do a journaling exercise called present continuous journaling. Okay? Now, the first exercise I gave you was from the art therapy tradition. This exercise is an exercise I devised. It's the only exercise in the series that I devised. And I did it because I wanted an exercise that could give me and others something along the lines of the experience that one gets in a good Freudian therapy. Now, a lot of people have biases about Freud and misconceptions about his work and the work of his followers. But a really good psychoanalytic therapy can really facilitate a freer flow of feeling because of the use of free association as a technique that's taught to the client, and inner organization if the interpretations that the therapist is offering are, well timed and good. So that's what this exercise is designed to facilitate, and it works pretty well. Here's how it goes, and as it turns out, there's 3 different levels of this exercise. There's a beginner, intermediate, and advanced. So I'll tell you about all 3. But let's start with beginner, because the intermediate and the advanced rely on what you're going to do in the beginner form of the exercise. So in this exercise, present continuous journaling, you're going to write whatever you observe experiencing, okay? So whatever thoughts that you observe arising as they arise, whatever sensations in the body, emotions, images, memories, etc., etc., etc. Whatever is there, that's what you're going to write. So it's like a kind of free association in writing. However, every verb that you use has to be in the ing form, okay? So, I like apples. For this exercise, you got to use the ing form, so you would say, I am liking apples, okay? I went to the movies yesterday. Nope, that's past tense. You got to say, I am going to the movies yesterday. Okay? Every single verb that you use needs to be in that ing form. So there's always some form of the verb to be before it, right? Like, I am going, she is writing, he is looking at a sunset. That makes sense? We are enjoying the film. Mm-hmm. Or I am enjoying this present continuous journaling exercise. Okay, every verb that you use. Now, this can be a little tricky sometimes, especially if you start to kind of get into a flow with it. So it's really important to be like disciplined and to go slowly, because you really want every verb to be in that ing form. There are some things that can easily trip you up, like I want to go to the movies, right? You say, all right, well, it's I am wanting to go to the movies. No, because now you have to go, which is not in the ing form. Now, well, how are you going to solve that, right? I am wanting to going to the, this doesn't really work. So here's how you do, in that case, you use the word that. I am wanting that I am going to the movies. I know it sounds crazy and might seem very nitpicky, but it's not about being nitpicky. It's just that to induce the kind of altered flowing state that the use of this present continuous tense, that's what that tense is called when you use ing, tends to induce. If you use it consistently, you've got to use it consistently, like very consistently. Even if you make like a few little slip-ups in the course of a 5-minute practice of this exercise, it's like a basin with a hole in it, and it's all the water is going to leak out. So one of the things that this exercise can teach is a kind of relaxed discipline. Are you able to go slowly and be disciplined without unduly stressing yourself out? It's a good thing to learn how to be disciplined while remaining relaxed. Right? It means you need to go slowly. It means you need to be okay with difficulties, imperfections. You are going to make mistakes sometimes. When you do, go back and just cross it out and put in the right form. Again, this could seem like so nitpicky, anal, etc. But it's just because that kind of discipline is what's necessary, again, to induce the kind of altered state that this practice can induce. Okay, so beginner form is to just write whatever is coming to mind, everything in that tense. Okay? Now, if you want to do something a little different after you've gotten the hang of that, the intermediate form is you're going to do the same thing, writing whatever comes to mind, whatever's there, whatever you're noticing. But from time to time, you can intersperse that with a thought from a kind of generic psychoanalyst. And to make it easy, you could say, maybe you feel, and then some emotion from the list of 14 emotions that I gave you in the kind of introductory video that I did for this series. Hopefully you have that list. If you haven't, you could go back and watch that video, or I am going to put the list down below in the description for the video, so you can use that. Maybe you feel, fill in the blank, sad, angry, disgusted, whatever it is. Okay? Maybe you might want to especially focus on those emotions that you tend to try to stay away from. Maybe you feel angry, for people who have difficulty with anger. Maybe you feel sad, for people who tend to try to run away from sadness. Okay? You write that down, and then you go right back to the present continuous tense. Okay? And so you can respond to that with whatever happens to be there. Maybe you are sad. I am thinking about the banana I am eating yesterday. Whatever is there, after you write that, that's what you go with, and just keep going. Okay? Now, third form of the exercise, advanced form, is you can have a dialogue with yourself. You're writing in this present continuous tense, and when you feel like it, you can come in with another voice that doesn't need to use that tense, that can speak normally, and that can say whatever you might have on your mind, right? And it's kind of like a dialogue between you and yourself, if that makes sense, right? This is where, your analytic mind, if you've got one, can come into play. If you're having some thoughts about like how to explain certain things that may be happening, you could just write those out in the context of this exercise, of what you're doing, the process. You write out your thoughts, don't worry about the tense, and then you go back to the present continuous, responding to what you've said in regular language, or not responding to it and going some different direction, right? Whatever's there in the moment, that's what you're going to be writing about, okay? Now, when you do this exercise, well, first I'd start with the beginner form, and you might want to set a timer for like 5 minutes and just commit to doing the exercise until that timer beeps, at which point you can stop or you can continue doing it if you feel like. But at least you know you're going to keep going until you hear that timer. And what if you get stuck? Like seems to be nothing there. Well, you can write, there is being nothing here. Right? And let's say now you're starting to feel a little irritated by this exercise. Well, you can write, I am being irritated by this exercise. I am not liking this exercise. And let's say the irritation continues. I am still not liking this exercise. You could write, I am not liking this exercise until the beeper goes off, right? The challenge is can you stay present and relaxed while you're doing that, right? It's a little bit of a discipline. Now, of course, maybe you're not liking this exercise, you're not liking this exercise, you're not liking this exercise, and then something else arises. I am enjoying the banana I am eating yesterday, right? Now, why do I keep going back to bananas? You know, I'm paging Dr. Freud, maybe, I don't. Let's not go there, okay? That's ridiculous. I shouldn't be saying that on YouTube. 5 minutes, and like I've been saying, these are exercises, so it is going to be a little bit difficult, but there's value in it. And if you keep doing it, it can develop a certain kind of capacity, right? Different capacity for every exercise we do, all right? So, enjoy doing present continuous journaling, and look forward to being with you again for the next video where we will talk about the sentence completion exercise. Okay? It's been Adrian Laurie bringing you present continuous journaling. Okay. Have fun. Bye-bye.